All right, it's time for your favorite new podcast. Yep, you think you know, but you have no idea about the glorious town of Philadelphia. Welcome to Love and Grit, everybody.
Hi, we're here.
Yes.
And who is we? We be we. My name is Laiya.
I'm Justin.
And Rachel.
Yeah, and you're going to get to know us. We're going to be your guides through this experience of getting to know this town a little better in ways you never know. We're going to have some real fun.
We thought we could start each podcast by doing lightning rounds on our Philly favorites.
Yes.
So let's do bakeries and boutiques this time.
Fun.
Let's start with bakeries. Rachel, your favorite?
Denise's Bakery. They have pound cakes and pies, and at one point, the North Philly establishment closed because there was a fire. But they rebuilt it and love it.
4th Street cookies. That's it. Anywhere you can find them. Reading Terminal, the 4th Street Deli on 4th and Bainbridge. You can find them all over this
They're
glorious
the biggest
city.
cookies.
They are the best cookies. And let me tell you something. If you get to Reading Terminal after 5 o'clock happy hour, they are $1.50. You're welcome.
Mine's in Northeast Philadelphia, Stock's Bakery. It is a Philadelphia staple. They make the pound cake that you need to have at every holiday function with your family.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, boutiques.
I'm going with Scarlet Alley. If you need anything from a wedding gift, baby shower gift, jewelry, candles, they're the place to be. I love Scarlet Alley.
I'm going with Sable Collective right downstairs from where we are right here at Rec Philly. They are everything black, female, and dope.
Mine is called Open House. It's on 13th Street in Philadelphia. You can go in there and get a gift for any occasion is what I need because I never know what I want. So you just walk in, find something. All the little knick-knacky stuff people love.
I think they've got to know us with those answers.
I think we did great. That was pretty fast.
We think we're great. We hope you do too.
Yes, because we've done a lot to prepare for today's show. It's a lot going on to introduce you into the things that you think you know about Philadelphia, but you have no idea of all the dope things that we do here. Speaking of all things fabulous in Philadelphia,
I'm already calm.
from what, Justin?
This amazing bowl sound. I can't remember what it's called officially.
So wait, let's break it down to the people because right now you're hearing a sound, but you don't know this is the most calming sound that you've probably heard in a very long time. Correct? Coming from the sounds of the Four Seasons at dawn as the sun comes up over the infinity pool. You see, myself, Rachel, and Justin, we're taking on a journey, people, to the Four Seasons.
57 floors above the city.
Yes. Picture us all in terry cloth. Is it terry cloth, y'all?
Yes.
Terry cloth robes.
Slippers, and on our best behavior.
You told us we had to be good.
Because I didn't trust you. I didn't want you to embarrass me, okay? I didn't want you to embarrass me.
Did we?
No. I think it was this sound.
It was so calming. I don't ever chill out, honestly. I just don't.
You don't say.
You know what? I had enough of the two of you already.
A little hyper.
I know I am. It just comes naturally. But for some reason, that totally chilled me out. It really it was like taking a drug.
That's true.
And again, the visual, you guys, you have to imagine us in our robes or whatever, sitting at the pool, and
The infinity pool.
With crystal interior designer Rashia Bell, as we dive into a story of how a North Philly girl is bringing the zen to the Four Seasons.
Hi, my name, is Rashia. I am an energetic interior designer. I'm a crystal healer, and I've had the opportunity to bring both of those things to the Four Seasons property here in Philadelphia through helping balance the space within the spa energetically, as well as providing crystal healing experiences for the guests that come here.
We should probably say we're on the 57th floor of the Comcast Technology Center, and the water lapping in the background is the infinity pool, which allows you to look over it and see the entire city on top
Or
of
the
it.
fact, that's right, or the fact that we saw the sunrise. Like, where else could we be and have this amazing view? It's amazing. So for centuries, people have used crystal healing, and we know that it's so hard to just take a moment for yourself. We were able to experience the singing bowls, I'm going to call them, in about an hour, and it has changed my life. Like, I am ready to start my day. So what would you tell people, clients, that why is it so important to experience this?
Yeah, I mean, I would say first and foremost that you can create an experience in any amount of time. It's really about intention vibration. It's about connecting to your intuition, and trying to balance your energy in that way. And so sounds through singing bowls, crystal singing bowls is a beautiful way to do that when you have that luxury, but also working with crystals on your own in your meditation and your practices. For me, as you said, because crystals go back to all ancient civilizations, they realized and revered different stones for their different energetic properties. And so I think we can find ways to incorporate that into our everyday, whether we're holding a stone while we're drinking our coffee, whether we have the opportunity to come here and actually experience a crystal healing session with me. Yeah, it's pretty special.
It's interesting too, because even with the experience that we had today, do you design it specifically for the person? You were talking about how each bowl is different, has a different sound. But this morning, why did you do something specific for the morning, the day? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, I mean, I would say for me, when I play the singing bowls, it's something that's very intuitive. And so no two experiences are going to be the same. Obviously, when I do have the opportunity to work one-on-one with a client, we can sort of really cater to what they're emotionally experiencing, what they're going on in their everyday life. And so we have a conversation about that beforehand to see how we can use the sound, how we can use the stones themselves when they're placed on the body to access deeper layers of the subconscious, to help them feel more balanced, to help them feel more harmonized.
And they were gorgeous. You had a lot of different colors.
But it's just the tip of the iceberg because the walls are filled with crystal.
There are actually crystals in the walls. We embedded over 700 pounds of crystals within the structure of the spa. And the first question that comes up is why? And largely as a designer, when thinking about the space that the spa is in, and we're in this amazing Comcast building, it's a building that's about technology, it's a building that's made of glass and metal, and so we wanted to think about how we can really create a restful space within the spa in particular. And so crystals are of nature, they hold energy based on how they're naturally created by the earth, and so we wanted to take this space within the city and bring the nature indoors to help create some of that balance. And so each treatment room has a specific stone aligned to the energy of that particular space. It also happens to align with a chakra within the body.
So, Rashia, I have to ask, how does a Philly girl like yourself get into the crystal lifestyle?
You know, it's funny. I think a lot of it has been a part of my journey. One of my first jobs was in jewelry, and so I was around stones, just not exactly in this way. But I think for me, it was really sort of merging two passions. Obviously, my jewelry background when I became an interior designer and wanted to sort of think about spaces and how we could actually affect the energy in them. I decided to see if there was a correlation between stone energy and how we could affect how people feel with spaces, sort of similarly to what people are used to with feng shui, if they think of that energetic tenet of design. And so for me, it was about how we can merge aesthetically the elements as well as energetic ones. And so I happen to think crystals are beautiful. Even if you don't understand what they do, they're beautiful to look at. And I think that alone can create an emotional response. It can create a particular experience. And so even if you start there.
Everything was so calming.
Yeah, I feel calm, and I am not.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You know, when we were walking into the Four Seasons, I asked Justin and Laiya to be on their best behavior, and I feel as though the crystals and the singing, they made an impact.
I was going to ask, I didn't know what was the correct thing to do as you're doing the singing bowl? Should I be meditating? Should I not talk? I didn't know.
Yeah, no, it's up to you. It's up to you and how you feel. Sometimes people are lying down. Sometimes people are sitting. Sometimes people are meditating. I think it's, we're in this beautiful environment where, as you said, we had the water sounds as well. And so that was also adding to the sound experience. And so essentially what they're both creating is a vibration within the room. And so it's something that you feel no matter what you're doing.
Thank you for this experience.
This is beautiful.
Thank you, yes. So here we are, early morning, in the Center City Four Seasons, as we watch Justin get what is this, Elizabeth?
This is a Nanogold face mask from Nesco Skincare. Our guests are enjoying it as an enhancement to their treatments. It can be applied either during a massage or a facial.
Jay, you look like you're going to a masquerade ball.
It really just boosts your collagen levels. It's just going to make Justin's skin appear brighter. pores will be minimized. It's really great for depuffing if you've had a long night.
Okay, so Justin, to explain to the fellas, they don't just have treatments for the ladies. You yourself have
I had never done a mask before.
Right.
It makes a difference.
And see, you got a gold mask. We should say this. Like, this is the 4 seasons, so they gave us one-of-a-kind masks. Each of us had a different part of our body covered.
Rachel had muffs on her.
That's right.
Like hand muffs.
First of all, so it was, it made my hands extremely soft. But then I couldn't fix my hair or brush my hair. So you guys let me walk around
Oh,
the
you
4
look fine.
seasons in my hair.
We've
was
been
a hot
having this
mess.
fight for a week. She
It's
looked
the truth.
fine.
It's
Listen,
the truth.
you can't have your hair perfect all the time.
Oh, but I can. And you wonder why there's a mirror on the back of my phone. Because you guys aren't good friends and don't tell me brush your hair, Rachel.
That's true. I mean, I do. I should have said something.
You did.
But you know what? I was so calm from the sounding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
it was
relaxing.
really like chill.
So as our mission here on Love and Grit is to keep you in tune with all dope and wonderful things that go on in Philadelphia, Justin and Rachel and myself continue on to this mission, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
This is our mission. We choose it and accept it. So we recently hopped into one of our favorite car services, Hey Lyft, to head to see what is all this hype about a museum that celebrates the colored girl. What does that even mean? And how does one turn a multi-level historic home into a museum? Well, listen as we are welcomed and guided by Colored Girls Museum founder and visionary, Vashti DuBois.
One of the things that I say usually upon entry is that this museum celebrates the ordinary, extraordinary colored girl.
Yeah.
Because Oprah will have a museum, she should.
Yeah.
Toni Morrison will have a museum, she should. And countless other sisters whose names we know, but the ordinary colored girl who's done so much for so many for so long, she deserves a museum. And it's really important to understand how creating a space to celebrate our ordinary selves is so important. We do once a month Sunday tours, and we do tours of 10 or more by appointment only. The only day we're off for admin is on Monday. And typically we do what we're going to do with you today. Not as fast as we're going to do it with you, but we do a tour of the museum. And this is, you're in the Toni Morrison exhibition. What we've done is we've dedicated every room in the museum to one or two of Toni Morrison's books. You can see that this floor actually belongs to Sula. So we asked artists to submit work that there was some quote that moved them in some way, and that's the artwork that came into the room. So there are a couple of things you're going to see in every room, and if you know the books, you may notice what some of the clues are, and if not, you'll learn in the second part of this exhibition what the clues are in every single room that actually speaks specifically to the books.
The dolls where the
Right.
mom is, the
Yeah.
kids are doing each other's hair?
Yeah, so this is actually a piece by Nastasia Swift, and it actually came into the museum maybe 2 years ago. We asked her to create for us an iconic Black girlhood moment.
Sunday ritual.
Right.
Yes.
And so,
Sunday ritual,
exactly.
getting your hair done.
I just think this is priceless, especially the whole sort of composition of the girl's body tells you everything you need to know about what's happening in this
It
moment.
hurts. I'm tender-headed.
Exactly.
2 hours later.
Exactly. The cotton, you're going to see it throughout the museum because of the history of cotton as it relates to Black folks in this country, right? It is the space where the economy of this country was built on the
right.
backs of
On
Black
our
folks.
backs.
So it feels important to reference it. Also, people, when we talk about enslavement, we don't necessarily also dig into what Black women were doing, right? And one of the
Taking out
things,
those seeds.
right, because our hands were smaller, so children and women actually were really important to this work.
Oh my goodness, this room is so warm.
It might be a doctor's bag. I don't know what this is, but it
Yeah.
looks good.
I love that the bag caught you. Okay.
Yeah, so
That good leather.
yeah. Well, the bag actually has a pretty charged story. It came into the Colored Girls Museum for our show Urgent Care, where each of these rooms was named after a space that you might find in the hospital. So this room was actually intensive care. And the doctor's bag was submitted because artifacts that are submitted by ordinary colored girls are a really important part of this museum.
The first time I was ever called colored, I was at my college and a woman said to me, "Oh, you're new here at the university." I'm like, "How could you know that with the thousands of students?" And she told me there aren't too many colored girls that come here.
Wow.
That was the first time in my life I was called colored.
That's ill. You kind of young to be called colored. That's ill.
That was, but I wear that with pride.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing, and I will get back to the bag. The way that we use colored here at the Colored Girls Museum, we're really thinking about the action, the way that Black women and girls are literally colored by everybody.
Yes.
How the world takes is Crayola crayon and just colors us too loud.
Decides for us,
Colors
yes.
us too problematic, colors us not in need of protection, just colors us. And how, sometimes we'll take that same crayon and color each other.
Yes, we will.
So it is colored not because we don't know the history of the word, both here in America and in South Africa, but because we're really calling our attention to what it means to be colored by a world that actually decides for you who you are. And so what I want to say about this bag is that a friend of mine submitted this. Her father was one of the first Black OBGYNs in Oakland, California. This was his doctor's bag.
Wow.
And his daughter went on to become a physician as well. And so he passed this bag on to his daughter. The daughter was actually killed in a domestic violence event. And this came into the Colored Girls Museum to bring the spirit of the doctors into the space, this father and the daughter, but also to begin to cure, to work on that memory. Because one of the things we say about the curatorial practices of the Colored Girls Museum is that we put the cure back in curation.
Vashti, do you guys make a conscious effort to also include Philadelphia artists?
We really, really do. This is Lavette Ballard, went to University of the Arts. This is Makeba, actually
I
a
love
New
Makeba.
York-based
Oh my
artist
God,
who lives in
yes.
Philadelphia now. And the featured photographer in this room, Asia
see
Walker.
her.
This is her ancestor, her great-great-grandmother, also a Philadelphia-based artist. And then above the chair, this is Barbara Bullock, who is the grand dam of the Black arts community here in
Yes,
Philadelphia.
yes.
And we're just going to peek in the Colored Boys room because...
There's a Colored Boys room?
There's a Colored Boys room in the Colored Girls
It's full of
Museum.
superheroes.
Oh my goodness.
The story of Colored Boys is integral. And the curator and the performance curator for the Colored Boys Museum are both Black men. This collection is actually Ian Friday, who's the performance curator. He said when I was growing up, we didn't have action heroes. So when they started making Black action heroes, he said, I just decided I was going to collect all of them because how important is it to be able to see yourself?
So wait, can we describe this, guys? What you don't know is that we are looking at a case full of Black action heroes, which takes a long time to accumulate.
It does take a really long time to accumulate. And so what we have here are all of the sisters.
Oh my God.
These are all
I
of the
didn't even know
female
these
superheroes.
existed.
Yeah,
I thought it was
didn't
just
either.
Jean Grey.
I didn't either, but these are the girls.
There's like a
holding it
Spider
down.
Woman.
Yes. Spider Woman,
Hey,
Green
Jean.
Lantern.
Oh, I see.
Our
Oh, girl.
Butterfly Girl was the first Black action hero.
I see Zoe Saldana from Guardians of the
Yep.
Galaxy. You're Black today, boo.
Well, just so you know, and for folks who are coming to visit us, one of the things that's happening in March is that the museum is beginning to be overtaken by portraits of the ordinary colored girl. So we're working on a series called First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, named after what I consider to be the consummate love song by Roberta Flack. So we ask artists who are proficient in the portraiture medium to identify a girl between the ages of 7 and 21 and to have her sit to have her portrait done. We ask both the girl and the artist to keep a journal of what that experience is like. What is it like to be looked at? Who gets to have their portrait done?
True.
Who do you have to be to have your portrait
Well, you have to
done?
come to the Colored
Right.
Girls Museum.
Yeah, you got to come to the Colored Girls Museum because the ordinary colored girl is getting her portrait
Yes,
done. Right? And one of the reasons we do this is because people look at the colored girl all the time, but they don't see her. So, that's what's so really powerful about this is that even the idea of creating a museum for ordinary colored girls, people actually had to think about what that would look like. We are a public ritual for the protection, praise, and grace of the ordinary colored girl. And the ordinary colored girl is at the bottom of most things. So this museum is not in a conversation about whose life is worse. What we understand is that Black and brown girls are at the bottom. And if you want to change the world, you have to start with the least of these. And when you start with the least of these, you raise everybody up.
I love the fact that this is dedicated to the history of an original art by Black women and girls. That's huge. And it was a really special place.
I mean, there's so many unexpected things in that house, which is like a microcosm of Philadelphia. Like, there's just so many things here to see and do. I'm so glad I know about it, and I'm going to tell a lot of people about it.
But are we really surprised the city of sisterly love? Come on. We know we have a lot of places that are geared towards women, highlight women, and your sister friends. And this is definitely top on my list.
True. Not surprised, but happy that it's there. Thank you, Vashti. All right, so our next segment, guys, takes sisterly love and mixes it with the perfect amount of innovation to squash that age-old stereotype that women don't know and don't want to know how to fix their cars. Right, Rachel? That's not true, right, Rachel?
Well, not anymore. Judgment-free zone.
Well, listen.
Do you drive?
Okay, I can drive. Whether or not I choose to drive is a different story.
When's the last time you drove?
Oh, my goodness.
I never even thought about you behind the wheel.
We didn't even talk about this with Patrice. I didn't know you didn't even drive.
Okay, so you guys are so rude. Do I have my license? Yes. Do I have a car? Yes.
But I have a husband?
If I was just about
No,
to
she's
say,
got public transportation.
I have Uber, Lyft, SAPTA, Amtrak, and Rob.
We need to get us a Rob.
We do need to get us a Rob, but in the meanwhile, I got me a Patrice Banks, and I'm glad for that because thanks to Patrice Banks and her Girls Auto Clinic, ladies now have solutions to all their auto concerns, a safe space for all their auto needs, and you can get you a mani and pedi while you wait. Yes.
Don't look at Justin's nails right now. Don't do it.
Yo, and we aren't the only ones who peep the dopeness of Patrice. In the last few months, this Philly native has been featured in Glamour, Allure, and
She was on the cover of People.
Yes. And she's the face of a couple of national TV campaigns. Shout out to Lean Cuisine. So, Rachel, Justin, and I headed over to Patrice's super dope shop in Upper Darby. And then Patrice sat down with us to school us on the real on the auto industry.
Do you guys know that women are the number one customer of the automotive industry? More women hold driver's licenses than men. I know that scares like guys, right? Because there's more women on the road, but in fact, we're the number one driver on the road right now. We buy more brand new cars than men. We influence 95% of the car buying decisions.
We hold the wallet a lot of times, even when we're in a couple.
We dominate this industry financially, but yet we don't have a voice. We don't feel empowered. You don't have women owners. You don't have women executives. They're not making decisions for the future when it comes to electric cars, self-driving vehicles, even though the future of these vehicles are going to be women. So there's just a lot of problems that we want to help this industry solve by empowering women.
The moment I met you, I was like, okay, I've never met a woman like this in my life before. And definitely not a woman with this mindset and this ambition to do this. So I was like, yeah, we got to put her on the radio.
So I just started getting all this press, and somebody heard me or saw me on CBS or some news, and it was a literary agent, said, I'd like to bring you on my team and help you get a publisher. And we first pitched to Simon & Schuster, and they published right away. They were like, absolutely, we love it. We got a book publisher, and it's crazy because I was not expecting this, but the year my book was released was the same year we opened the shop. Wow. At the time I was writing the book, I found a shop location, I found female mechanics, so this was kind of all happening at once.
Do you feel like times are changing for women in this area?
Absolutely. I just think everywhere. Yeah. I tell people in 2000 and I think it was 11, I typed in female mechanic into Google. The first thing that popped up was the 10 top stock images of female mechanics. And of course it was like women in bikinis next to cars, right?
Wow. Cut off jeans.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't find a woman mechanic online, but now you go you type in female mechanic, Girls Auto Clinic pops up first. Yes, right. It does. Like we pop up first.
You should.
You go to hashtag female mechanic anywhere on like Instagram, you'll just see this group of women now, like this movement starting. Wow. Even my hashtag Shecanic, which is what I call my car savvy ladies once they're kind of learning about their car and they feel empowered. It's all over the world. I have women in Ghana hashtagging Shecanic, Nigeria, Brazil, China. Like women are ready for this. We're kind of at the forefront of this women's empowerment movement in the automotive space.
Have you seen like the physical fruits of your labor? Like have you seen somebody else try to do their own girls auto clinic in another town?
Well, there's none like this in the world, actually.
In the world. Love it.
So and it's mainly because I'm kind of crazy, right? Like, I'm super ambitious. Like,
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to disrupt an industry that, Ford alone is $1 billion company. And we've got Ford and, Volkswagen and all these other brands that I'm trying to get to pay attention. And then, of course, people like Tesla and Apple and Waymo that are the future of transportation. How do we get them to pay attention? It's a big task. I'm a big dreamer.
That's right.
And so part of the reason that, a lot of other people haven't done this is because it's intimidating, it's scary, people don't know where to start. And I'm just naive enough to put myself out there and be like, I'm going to do it, and then start doing it, which is really the people who change the world, right? They're naive enough to be like, I can do it.
You're like a foremother. You're a foremother in this industry in that way.
Well, I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I just 100% believe that this is necessary, and I was meant to do this, right? I was put here on earth to create this company to help women to make this change, right? This is my contribution, kind of.
It's so special, not only the concept, but when you walk in, it's just, you feel comfortable, and it's gorgeous. And usually when people think of women, they automatically, pretty in pink, and that's not what this is.
Yeah, I didn't want pink at all.
This is brown,
red.
This is a big deal. It's bold.
Yeah,
I love it.
Some of the haters sometimes will say to me, you're just trying to be sexy in your heels and your tight pants, and I say, I'm not trying to be sexy. I just am sexy, right? Like, this is whatever you want it to be. I mean, there's a lot of Patrice in here, but just because I wear heels, I'm being me. I'm being authentic, and I'm sharing my story and my experiences, and people can relate.
I just want you to explain to people the significance of you staying at home, the significance of you starting a business at home in Philadelphia, and why you continue to be here.
Oh yes, Philly. I love Philly. So I'm from Philadelphia area native. I've lived all over the country, but keep coming back to this city. I actually have, my shop is in Upper Darby, and I really wanted to have it in Philadelphia, but we're one block outside of West Philly, right above 69th Street.
It's a cheap lift.
Very, very cheap lift. And it was smart to do that because we get a lot of people from the city and the suburbs, where if I was in Philly, I don't think the suburbs would come in for like car repair. So a lot of people come in from Philly. I'm always representing Philly, right? We got a TV show that picked up based off of the book, a pilot with Elizabeth Banks and brothers.
So excited.
Yeah, and I'm like, we need to base this in Philly. But I'm so proud to this to be the first location, right? This to be what I call home. I would love to be able to join the Philadelphia kind of elite that have brought a lot of fanfare and people's attention.
You've already done it.
Patrice.
I'm not at Tina Fey level yet, but I'm trying to
You're
get
on the cover of People magazine.
And people don't know Tina Fey's from Philly most days. And,
Really?
Did I say that? But I'm just saying it's not that she screams it out.
Put some respect on that.
Yeah.
Please, you
Well,
are.
I just haven't reached my goals of where I really would like it to be, right? And so, Girls Auto Clinic, I want it to be a household name. There's still people in Philly that don't know about me, right? So how can we just get out there more, let people know that we're here. We're not just in Philly, right? We are going to be expanding, but this is where it all started.
Please let people know where to find Girls Auto Clinic, where to follow you,
Yes.
where.
Okay, so we've got a ton of places for you to find information about us, but mainly we're at girlsautoclinic.com. Our social media across the board is at Girls Auto Clinic. But we have a specific location for just ladies, sorry guys, where women can engage with other women mechanics. It's a Facebook group. It's called the She-Canic Facebook community. Go in there, ask any questions you have about your car, if it's making a noise, if a mechanic's asking you and telling you you're going to need something that's thousands of dollars. You can go in there, ask your question, a female mechanic will answer. It's a whole support group of women that's really helping other women. It's a great resource wherever you are in the world to join our She-Canic community. But other than that, you can follow us across the board at Girls Auto Clinic or email us, info@girlsautoclinic. We're here with any questions you may have.
What I thought was really dope, and I think, Rachel, you mentioned this in the interview, was the fact that this is not a pink girly spot. This is not okay.
It's an auto garage.
Exactly.
That's right. And I loved the decor. It really plays off of grit, but then
The salon decor.
Yes.
I mean, instead of pink, she used red.
And the brick walls, and it's okay, when you first walk in, of course, you think of a mechanic or a shop, whatever, but then hello.
What is this?
Hello.
It's the perfect look of love and grit.
And speaking of the perfect love and grit, I think that's the perfect way to close the show. Yep, it's already over. Can you believe it?
We'll talk to you next time.
Promise.
Miss you. Love you.
Love you too. You said that kind of gritty, Justin. I like that.